So, Jeremy, thank you very much for joining me on my podcast here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. I learned about you through Andrew Leahy.
Yeah, we've just worked together and just been friends for a long time. Done like some tribute shows and taken ice baths together and go running with him and his wife sometimes. Yeah, they're nice. Good people. Those cats.
Yeah, I interviewed him. It was probably months ago. He's such a great guy. And he brought you up and said, "Hey, you should have him on your podcast here. He's, great musician and he's got hot sauce." And I was like, "Well, hot sauce, I'm in."
Our little mini bottles here.
All right.
Christmas bottles. This is the green.
Okay.
Jalapeno business. And this is the Blister original.
Nice.
Habanero forward. And this is our hot one, the Carolina Weeper.
Okay.
And then we made this for last year's tour for Post. We did made a Ghost Malone.
The Ghost Malone. That's awesome. That's awesome.
For the whole crew. It was really fun. Yeah.
I ordered my combo pack, I think, on Friday. So I know it's been shipped. It just hasn't arrived yet. So I'm waiting.
Oh, nice. Hope you enjoy it. Do you like smoked things?
I do. Yeah, very much so. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You'll enjoy this. Yeah, it's very good.
Awesome. All right, so maybe we could talk about the hot sauce a little bit too. But I know you're a super busy guy. Andrew had told me that you were. Now again, this was months ago that you were, going out on tour. And here you just got back from tour with Post Malone, right?
Yeah, we're about to go out again, but we went on 2 tours this year. We did like a 3-month North American tour and like a 7-week European tour, and we're about to head out to do the Thanksgiving Cowboys game for halftime,
awesome.
And then we're heading to the Middle East and India, which is
I saw.
It's been a wild world.
It's amazing. I saw a post of yours that said that you were getting ready to go back out on tour. I don't think your post actually said with who, but I kind of assumed, and I wanted to ask you when I got to talking to you. So you're going out with Post again. That's awesome. And for those of my listeners who don't know, what's your role there with the Post Malone gang?
I am one of the 2 background singers. Me and my pal Kristen Rogers sing harmonies, and I'll tinker around and hop around stage and pick up an instrument for like a millisecond or play piano at the end of the set, but mostly just singing and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I was in an a cappella group, so I'm used to that, but most of the bands I've toured with, I've played something as well, play guitar, piano, or bass or something. So it's
very cool.
It's fun just showing up and singing.
That's fantastic. You're living the dream, right? Living the dream.
I am, yeah. It's pretty incredible. I feel very, very grateful.
That's fantastic. So, I know me personally, I am not yet a full-time musician. I've got 2 young girls, and I'm a single parent, and so I've got a 9-to-5 job, and I do music, part-time. I'm a solo acoustic cover musician, mainly on the weekends.
Nice.
I've got a handful of originals that I have released, but not really a big catalog. And then I have this podcast, so I do music, part-time. You obviously, I would imagine, are doing it full-time, aside from the hot sauce business, right?
Yeah. It's been funny. Like there was a period where I didn't know what direction things were going. I was like, I could always just really focus on hot sauce, but which I really enjoy. It's a chance for me and my brothers to all get together and hang out. We're really super close. So
yeah.
But no, music's really just kind of been taking off. I've had lots of highs and lots of lows in my life, but especially in my music career. Like it's just like on top and then the bottom, on top, and I'm happy to be on top of one of those waves now. So I'm just enjoying where it's at, and and
that's great.
Just kind of enjoying the ride, I guess.
Yeah, man. I mean, congratulations on all the success you've had. It's amazing. So, tell me a little bit about kind of how you got started. Was it by, did you get lucky one time? Like, how does somebody go from just maybe playing music in their bedroom to being on tour with Post Malone? What's the secret sauce?
All you gotta do is, It's 3 easy steps. Come join my workshop, and I'll show you how to be in a band with Post Malone. Yeah. Yeah, a whole lot of luck.
Yeah.
I'm, I come, from a very musical background. Parents were both music majors, grew up, like, singing, with family and in church, and, like, my mom's dad, my grandfather, was in a very famous Southern gospel group called the Blackwood Brothers, and
Oh, wow.
we go over to, like, they grew up in Memphis, but then they moved over into, South Carolina, where a lot
Mhm.
of, their family was, but, we just go over there for the holidays, and everyone could sing, so just harmonies were kind of born with knowing how to do that.
Yep.
So, uh, nature, gifted me in genetics, like, um, a nice voice
You've got a
and
great
the
yeah,
ability to know.
you've got a great voice. I mean, your voice is
Thank you.
nice and smooth. It's got that I don't know, it's got an interesting tone to it, I think, you know. And I hope I don't like comparing, but sometimes I do just to give my listeners an idea of what you might sound like if they've never heard of you. I hear a little bit of Jason Mraz in your tone. Does that
Okay.
I mean, does that make
I think
sense
a
to
couple of
you
people that
or
have said that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that makes
okay.
sense a
Yep.
little bit.
Yep. Yep. A
Um,
little, a little.
yeah, it's interesting. I haven't listened to too much of his tunes. I've always liked what I've heard, but I've just never,
Mhm.
like, uh,
Yep.
I've never, hopped in on that catalog, but, yeah, but no, yeah, I grew up, surrounded by music, and then I knew at a really young age, I was like, "Okay, school sucks. I wanna make music," and, so barely got through high school, and then I had a scholarship to a college, and, was going to get, like, a music education degree, and
Mhm.
not even 1 semester passed, and I was asked to join a rock band, and so, quit school
Nice.
and hopped on the road in Jackson, Mississippi, and,
Oh, wow.
and then eventually, after a couple of years, moved to Nashville, and
That's
a lot
crazy.
of lot of crazy ups and downs, the
Mhm.
last 20 or so years.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I was asked to join a rock band in high school too, but we weren't going on tour. So was this like an already established band or was it just a group of guys that got together that
No, we kinda started from scratch. My
Mhm.
older brother, went to Mississippi College, and, I'd already kinda moved to Clinton,
Mhm.
and I was commuting to another school, and then, some friends of his were starting to do demos, and they asked me to come over and sing on some things, and
Okay.
then it turned into let's do our first show, and then I guess there was already kind of we had a built-in crowd with a lot of college friends and things like that,
Nice. Yep.
and then yeah, then we just started really doing well, especially in Jackson, Mississippi, which is
Mhm.
uh it's a small town, even for the
Yeah,
capital of Mississippi, and
sure.
but we would sell out all of our shows there, and
Oh, that's
3 or
great.
400 people would come out, and then we started touring, like, just regionally mostly. We go to Atlanta and, like, through Louisiana, and, um, we'd go play college shows. We did, like,
Mhm.
half covers and half originals,
Okay.
um, and we were a great band. I lucked out as me and my older brother, and then, 4 other guys, and we did, like, everything from classic rock to, like, our stuff was like a mixture of, like, the Beatles met prog rock. The group is
Okay.
called Geronimo Rex. There's probably some stuff out there with that's
Geronimo
been a long time.
Rex. That's a great name. I
But,
love that.
yeah, it was named after a Barry Hannah book, who's an author from Mississippi.
Very
But,
cool.
yeah, yeah, moved to Nashville in 2003 in my really early 20s, and just I think I really lucked out. I was bartending and waiting tables at this Italian restaurant called Amerigo, and,
Mhm.
just, met people, like, if people would come sit at the bar, and it's just a couple blocks away from Music Row.
Yeah.
A couple, people would come sit at the bar, and if I heard them talking music business, I would use my CD as a coaster and just put it on
Really?
their drinks, and,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Love
it just cracks people up, so,
it.
uh yeah, then I ended up meeting, my agent, and, the very first little writers round I played, I met some key people that kinda helped me along,
Awesome.
kinda getting in the middle of everything, and then, yeah, after in 2004, I started getting label interest, and then,
Mhm.
in 2005, I signed to Warner Brothers in Los Angeles, kind of like a singer-songwriter deal, and
Yep.
I was like, "This is it! I've arrived!" And that was a high for sure. And
Sure,
then I signed a
sure.
publishing deal, and then
Yep.
and then it was sort of like a 5-year slow descent into nothing really happening. But I got the pros of that. One, it's just I mean, it's cool that I had a major record deal. A lot of people, can't say that, and I feel
Yep.
really fortunate. But I was
Sure.
I was like chomping at the bit. I was like, please release an album. I was writing so many songs. I ended up
Okay.
writing, I mean, just hundreds of songs
Yeah.
over those 5 years.
Yep.
Um,
Sorry to
and
interrupt, but was that deal primarily like a songwriter deal, like, and your songs would get cut by somebody else, or would you
no, it
perform,
was
record them
me
for?
as the artist. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it was
okay.
me as
All
the
right.
artist.
Gotcha.
So
Yep.
I had an artist publishing deal, not a writer's pub deal, and then I had
Okay.
a record deal with Warner Brothers where
Gotcha.
they were flying me to London and New York and LA to work with different producers and trying to like figure out what my sound was, which I
Mhm.
think my Achilles heel was I liked every genre. So I would do like, singer-songwriter folk, and then I'd do like a full rock song, and then I would do like an
Mhm.
R&B type song, and then there's like, we don't know what to do with you. Which has been all those have been very beneficial, like
Sure.
later in my life. But yeah, finally, I got out of the deal. The guy that signed me, the president of the label, uh, Tom Wally was, I think, leaving or getting fired. I don't know what happened, but I knew that I was going to get shelved, and I'd recorded an album that was going to be my first release, and I thought this is going to get shelved.
Yeah.
So, my manager at the time was Doc McGee. He's like
Oh,
famous,
nice.
super like legendary 80s, 90s, and managed Kiss and all the 80s
Yep.
bands and stuff like that. But
Yep.
he was friends with Tom and was like, "This kid's busted his ass, and you need to give him his album back." So got the album back and got out of the deal.
Wow.
But then I was just like, I don't know what to do now.
Mhm.
And a friend of mine from high school that I sang in the choir with called me and was like, "Hey, there's this reality TV show that's on NBC. It comes on before The Voice. It's called The Sing Off. It's like
Mhm.
a cappella groups go and compete against each other. Ben
Okay.
Folds is the judge, Nick Lachey is like the host, and
Mhm.
Sean Stockman from Boys to Men, and
I remember that. I think I watched a couple of episodes of that show. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So he was like, "You want to do this?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "That is I don't that does not sound like I don't want to sing an a cappella reality TV show." But
Mhm.
he talked me into it. He's like, "Just come try out." And my me and my older brother, once again, we grew up making a lot of music together.
Mhm.
Tried out, and it was him and his younger brother, and then two of their college buddies, and um, we showed up for the audition, and they were like, "You guys sound amazing!" Like two brothers, and so like our blend was incredibly good.
Yeah, sure.
But they were like, "But you look terrible. Like you're not you don't have any showmanship. You don't have any flair." And so they're like, "We want you on the show, but we're not gonna have you on here unless you show us that y'all can ham it up and come to life on
Okay.
in front of the camera."
Yep.
And so they were like, "Come back at 4 o'clock, do whatever you have to do to loosen up." And so we went to an Irish pub and just got blitzed. And I've been sober for quite some time now,
Mhm.
because I enjoyed my pubs. But
Sure.
so we were just doing car bombs and fireball and everything, and we showed up just drunk, and I had a bottle of whiskey in my back pocket, and I went up to the judges and I poured them all shots. I was like, and like these are like kids coming by and like college kids and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and they were like, "What are these guys doing?" And I was like, "Drink those, we'll sound better." And and so we all took a shot together, and then we sang and we tore it up. We
Yep.
had this little choreo goofy dance we put together for some of the songs, and
Nice.
they were like, "Okay, y'all are awesome." And so that was sort of our shtick on the show, that we were just some good timing boys from Nashville,
That's awesome.
and we almost won the show. We came in second place at the very end,
Oh,
and
wow. That's
and I
very
was like,
cool.
"Well, I guess I sing a cappella music now," because we kind of blew up and we were touring all over the world,
Oh, wow.
and then Yeah, you're getting the long version of the
I don't
story.
mind it.
Sorry.
You could. I'm here for it all, Jeremy. I'm here for it all. I love talking to folks that are like that have your background. That is, it's very diverse. You've done a lot of things in the music business, and an underlying theme of this podcast is really to kind of help the amateur musicians try to figure out how to make a living, find their path. Right? I mean, like you said, you didn't really think that of yourself as an a cappella singer, right? But now here you are basically touring the world as an a cappella singer. So why not be open to the options, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it was funny. Like when people would ask us, because we would go out and do tons of events with the a cappella world and community, and we just didn't know anything about it. And they were like, "What about this group doing this?" And we were like, "We don't even like or know a cappella music." But it was. I mean, I think that was also what was endearing about us is we were very carefree and like
Right.
we didn't do anything flashy or like it was just we just sounded good, just singing
Yeah.
3-part, 4-part harmony. With
Yep.
some
Just a bunch of guys
spinning around.
kind of being themselves, but then also had the talent to back it up, right?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But yeah, then that kind of we were actually we were on tour in 2015. We kind of went out at the beginning of the year, and then we did a sing-off tour. So like the reality show put together like this for sort of like three groups from different seasons, and we were out and doing like 2,000 seater venues and things like that, amphitheaters and large clubs and stuff like that. And I was deep in the throes of like addiction and alcohol stuff.
Oh,
and, like
wow. Okay.
all the good stuff, which we had some very, very fun times. I've got many of those stories, but yeah, it had caught up with me, and I was having like panic attacks before the show, thinking I was dying, and I'd gone to get some blood work, and they were like, "Yeah, you have liver damage, and like
Oh, wow.
you got to quit drinking." And then before one of the shows, I was like, I can't go on, so they called a doctor to come in, and they had seen my blood panel and all that stuff, and he's like, well, how did he word it? He was like, "You want the good news or the bad news?" And I was like, "I want the bad news." And he's like, "You're gonna die probably this year." And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
"What?" And he's like, "Yep, you have about a year left." And
Wow.
and I was like, "What's the good news?" And he was like, "You can go get help and stop drinking and drugging right now, and you could probably live a long life."
Wow.
And it really, really hit me, and I was just like, "Oh, wow. I guess I don't know what to do." So, I at that point I was so dependent on everything, I couldn't like just quit drinking.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just went to our tour manager, and I was like, and I went to the band because everyone was so fed up with me at this point because I was just such a mess, and
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, "I'm
Yep.
sorry, everybody. Like, I'm gonna stop drinking when I get back, but I can't. I can either leave now and like go to a rehab, and that means we can't tour anymore for the rest of this whole like it was like I think there's like 4 to 6 weeks left or something like that.
Yep.
And or just give me a big old handle of vodka every day, and I'm gonna try to ride this out. and like people, I felt bad. Like people were emailing the group and calling. It's like, man, get this guy help, because I was going full
Oh, okay.
on Vegas
Yeah.
Elvis and like on stage. But there's some funny clips, but
So
it's cringy too.
the band agreed to just like keep the tour going and kind of
Yeah.
enable you for the rest of the tour. Is that right?
Well, I was just. It wasn't really enabling. I think
Okay.
I was very, very sneaky, manipulative, and I
Oh,
was
okay.
just like, I was kind of like, this is what I'm doing, sort of like,
Gotcha.
I had asked in a friendly way, but I was also, it would have been, everyone would have lost a lot of money if I would have
Yeah.
left. So I
Yep.
think they were happy to have me on.
Yeah.
And they also like, when I told them I was going to quit drinking when I come home, they were like, yeah, right.
Yeah, sure you are.
I think they didn't really believe me.
Yeah.
But I got home, I got home, and then I'd played this little block party with another rock band that I was in. And when we got home, we played something for this radio station. And I think 3 days before that, I'd played at the Ryman
Oh,
it was
wow.
my first time, like, under my name, like,
Yep.
playing the rhyme with a group of people, called 10 Out of 10, and,
Mhm.
I don't remember any of it. I was just blacked out
Oh,
the entire
wow.
time,
Wow.
and, so I played my very last show I had on the books, and then I had a few weeks, like, with nothing on my calendar. I was like, "Alright,
Mhm.
this is it. I'm, um, I'm gonna do the deal." So,
Okay.
locked myself in, a room, locked myself in a room for,
Yeah.
3 days with some benzos and, some anxiety stuff, and thought I was gonna die. I probably nearly died a couple times for, like, 3
Jeez.
days, and I was
So you
just,
went
like, in a
you went
fetal.
cold turkey by yourself?
Yeah, and
Oof.
if you're listening to this, if you know anyone that has issues, or if you have issues, don't do that. Go to a hospital and go
Yeah.
get help, because it's very dangerous, and I
Yep.
I was very fortunate.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was just
I
being.
heard there are instances where, like, your body just can't handle it, and, parts of it'll just shut down, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
have organ failure, and,
Mhm.
but I was just in a fetal position, just shaking and dry heaving for 3
Wow.
days, and everything
Mm.
coming out of everywhere. It was horrible.
Oh,
But,
man.
I had, I don't know why I chose this, but, I was like, I wanted, like, a long thing to watch, just, like, to have on the side of my bed when I was, like, just sitting
Yeah.
there, and
Mhm.
I found this Ken Burns documentary about the national parks, and,
Okay.
and the the juxtaposition of me versus what was coming out of my computer monitor was hilarious, because I was
Yeah.
just this ball of ooze,
Mhm.
uh, and then I was watching these serene images of Yosemite and the Grand Canyon and all of its majesty, and
Yeah.
then I went through all these things, and, I just started watching it on repeat,
Okay.
and then, like, when I was really thinking I was gonna die, at one point, I was like, "If I live through this, I'm gonna go see all these places. Like,
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna start doing, like, something different than this, and not just
Mhm.
being hauled up in a pub or in my house drinking. I'm gonna go out and see the world."
Yeah.
And so I've started doing it, and I'm over halfway through all the national parks,
Oh,
and,
that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I just celebrated my, 5-year wedding anniversary with my wife, and we got married in
Congratulations.
Yosemite, and the national
Awesome.
parks have a really, really special meaning to me, and,
That's fantastic. I
um
love that story. It's great. It's great. It gave you, like, an objective to say, "All right, let me get through this so I can see all of this stuff that's coming out of my TV. I can see it in real life," you know?
Mhm.
And you're still doing it. That's awesome. Did you ever enter into any kind of treatment program, or did you just do it all on your own?
I started on my own,
Mhm.
and then about 2 months after being sober, and, like, most of my friends were heavy drinkers and bar goers, and I was
Mhm.
going out with them, but just,
Yeah.
like clenching a soda water with, and, like,
Mhm.
"Gosh," and I was closing down bars, just being a total just wreck,
Yeah.
and, my old day-to-day manager when I was with Doc McGee, her name was
Mhm.
Mel, um, she had been in recovery for quite some time, and she was like, "Hey, come to one of these meetings with me," and I was
Okay.
like,
Yep.
"No, thank you. That is not my scene. I'm doing
Mhm.
this. I quit drinking on my own. I'm fine. Thank you very
Right,
much.
right.
We can go
Yep.
have coffee, but I'm doing that."
Mhm.
And then as the weeks progressed, I just got a little bit more, um, uneasy in my own
Sure.
skin, and,
Yep.
I just didn't know. I just needed to find someone to, like, talk to and relate to, so,
Mhm.
yeah, I started going to meetings with her once a week,
It's great.
and then, that really changed my life. Like, now
Yeah.
I'm still very active in a lot of recovery, and,
That's fantastic.
have helped a lot of other people out too. It's a big part of what keeps me, um, I think, I mean, sober for sure, but also, like, just keeps me, out of my own ego and out of my own head, is working with other
Yeah.
people is
Absolutely,
it's
absolutely.
such an
I went
important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have overcome a slightly different addiction, but yeah, I've been through the meetings and the 12-step program and all that stuff, and yeah, even though you think you may have kicked it, you still need that support network occasionally, because that shit can creep up on you at any time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They
So
can
it's
come out
crazy.
sideways too, so it's kinda good
Yeah.
to, it's just good to keep an eye on the obvious things, and then
Mhm,
also it just kinda keeps me in check of, like, where are my priorities? How much
mhm.
am I stuck in my own self, self-will and like me, the me show. And
Yeah.
if I go and work with other people or I'm going to a meeting, it feels like it's sort
Mhm.
of I'm a part of something bigger, and it makes my
Right.
life a lot more fulfilling, I
Yep.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Fantastic. So, okay, so then once you got sober, did you find that your creativity had changed? Did it lessen? Did it get better? Like how I know I saw an interview with John Mayer, and he's one of my favorites, where he gave up alcohol and he was like, I was worried about my creativity and my level of fun. He's like, in the beginning, yeah, it does go down, but then it's like the floodgates open. Did you have a similar experience with getting sober?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was also just so fed up with like the system of music and like I having had deals and losing deals, and I think I just knew too I needed to rewire my brain because like I just didn't like music. I didn't like creating anymore. I didn't
Oh
like
wow.
uh I didn't even like performing that much, and I was just like I was just tired of it. And also that's all I'd really known. I'd just known Jeremy the musician, and I
Mhm.
was like, I need to find out more of who I am and like find other ways to find fulfillment and happiness and like things to add to my identity other than just being a musician and a
Sure.
drinker. But
Yeah, right.
I so I quit. I quit music for about maybe 2 years or so,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
it was probably it's up there with some of the better decisions I've ever made.
Really?
I think Get Sober probably one of the best, but like
Mhm.
yeah, it's I quit, and then I also I got really into running. That's a funny little story too. I had some dental work, and they're like, you have to quit smoking because I'd smoked since I
Oh,
was a kid,
okay.
and uh, they were like, if you smoke while you have these teeth pulled out, you'll
Mhm.
get sepsis and like you could die.
Oh,
So
geez.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah. Wow.
okay, well I'm quitting smoking too. And so I got a patch and I put it on,
Mhm.
and it just made me nauseous. And so I was just kind of getting antsy again. I was like, ah,
Mhm.
and so every time I wanted a cigarette, I would just go take off and go running as hard as I
Oh,
could
wow.
until I didn't
Okay.
want to smoke anymore. So that got me
Really?
really into running. Actually, you've got my little running hat on here, but
Oh, yeah, cool. Check it
uh,
out.
my little addictive brain, I made it a mile, and I was like, I just ran a mile. This is crazy. And then a week later, I made it like 2 miles, and then I ran a 5K distance with a friend, and then I was asking him like, what do I sign up for? He's like, sign up for a half marathon. And so
Mhm.
trained real hard, and, and then I'd lost a lot of weight too because I was not drinking 1,000
Oh, yeah.
million
Yep.
calories of sugar a day,
Mhm.
and I turned out to be this great runner. And so I went out and ran like my first race was like it was like a 140 or something like that, half marathon, which is pretty. It's booking it. It's in the sevens,
Mhm.
and then and then a couple years went by, and then I did my first marathon,
Awesome.
and I was like, what's next? And then I started getting into the ultra marathon stuff, and now I've done
What's an
like
ultra? I mean, obviously I've heard of marathon, but I don't think I've heard the term ultra marathon. What's that?
it's just anything over a marathon.
Oh, okay. All
And
right.
so my first was a 40 miler over in
Holy
the
crap.
Cumberland Hills, and
Mhm.
then during the pandemic, I'd go out every I think Thursday, and just run as far as I could, and I got like up to like upper 20s every Thursday. Then I got in the 30s, and I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? I'm just gonna pick a Thursday, and I'm gonna run 50 miles. And so I ran
Wow.
50 miles, and I called it the friendship run. I encourage other friends to like just kind of run whatever distance they want to run, and
Oh,
then
okay.
because
Yep.
we were all in quarantine,
Mhm.
I'd had several friends. I'd like say, hey, put some up, as a snack and a glass of water on your porch, and if you
Oh,
won't
that's
hold a
cool.
sign up when I come by. So I ran by all these friends' houses all through Nashville, and I
That's
ended up
awesome.
running 50 miles, and I was like, I just ran 50 miles. It's crazy.
It's
And
amazing.
then yeah, and then in 2021, I think. Yeah, I ran my first 100 miler, and I've
Oh
done
my
a couple of
god.
those now. So
Now, this might be a silly question because I'm not a long distance runner. Yes, I ran track in high school and I used to love
nice.
running. I used to love running. At one point I was the 6th fastest quarter miler in the state of New Jersey. It was great. I ran
Whoa.
against I ran against two future Olympic gold medalists. It was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you're way faster than I was.
Well, I was short and middle distance. I never ran anything longer than a mile, that's for sure. But so like you're running 50 miles or 100 miles. Are you actually running the entire time, or do you just, I mean, obviously you might maybe take a little break to grab a snack or something if somebody's got something out for you, but like, is that constant running for 50 miles or 100 miles? And if so, or even not, how long does it take you to do that?
So for all these races, for most of them at least, they have cutoffs. They're like, okay, you have a cutoff time, and if you don't don't make it in that time, you get a disqualification from it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so my first one didn't have a cutoff, and so I was like, this is more enticing because like if I need to go sleep for 6 hours, I can do that. But I ended up I laid down once for like 15 minutes, and then I was just moving the rest of the time.
Wow.
And I ran that one in about it was like 26 hours and some change.
Holy crap.
And it was, man, it was hard.
Yeah, I bet.
It was very, very hard. Like there was about, from like mile 70 to 90, I was just mad because like I'd raised a lot of money for a charity, and I was like, I'm not quitting this thing.
Right.
And like so many friends were pulling for me, and like hundreds of people had like sent me these messages, and I'm like, but I was just like, why did I ever do this? I'm in so much pain, and this is so stupid. But then I got to mile 90 and the sun started coming up, and I just had this, when I was like, I'm doing this. I'm going to run 100 miles. And
That's
it was just a beautiful experience. And then, I really wanted to break the 24-hour barrier to try to do it in less than 24 hours, which essentially means you have to run faster than like a 14-minute and 20-something second mile.
Oh, wow.
You can, as long as you're moving steady and running, and take little pit stops here and there, you can do it. But it's harder than you think, like because you have to count for going to the bathroom and stretching or any other weird thing that happens.
And you gotta refuel and all that. So, you gotta grab something to eat, make sure you have plenty of fluids, all that stuff. Sure. Yeah. It's crazy.
So I attempted one. It was from from Flagstaff to the Grand Canyon.
Oh wow.
And that one ate me alive. It was the only race that I had to drop out of. I was getting hypothermia. I'd forgotten to take a jacket out with me at night.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I'd fallen, and I couldn't move very fast. And I was like, I got to my crew, because we were in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And I couldn't stop.
I used to live in Arizona. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Just the temperature drops so much at night. It's wild. Where'd you live in Arizona?
I lived in Phoenix, but I've made my trips to the Grand Canyon and Flagstaff and Sedona and all that stuff, and Cottonwood. I've been all around Arizona, but I lived in Phoenix for about 4 years. Yep.
Oh yeah, I love Arizona. It's probably my top 3 favorite states. It's so beautiful out there.
Yep. So there you are in the middle of the night, freezing your ass off trying to run.
Yeah, and I told them I was done, and they were like, "No," because I also told them not to let me quit, and they were trying to encourage me. But then I was just like violently shaking, and even after being in the heater in the truck for an hour, and they're like,
"Wow,
okay,
yeah."
And so that one got me, and I was like, "All right, I gotta beat this." So 2023, I went up to the Erie Canal, and there was a 100-miler up there in the summertime. It was really hot, but I didn't have to worry about hypothermia. But yeah, I got it. I ran it in 23 hours and 16 minutes. And,
wow, that's great.
So since then, I've I don't know if I'm going to run another one. It's a lot of work getting prepped for it. But, who knows?
Sure.
I'm in.
And doesn't weird things happen to you, like you lose toenails and stuff because of all the pounding?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're training, like I would have like 6 functional toenails, and the rest would be either black or falling off and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What else? What else do we not know about long distance running that you'd like to share?
You have to learn creative ways to pee and still keep moving without, indecent exposure.
Sure.
But it's and poop, same things. I've got lots of poop stories. I was actually where was that? I was in New Mexico training, and this is horrible. But I had to go. I was about 2 miles from where I started. I was at a friend's house, and I went to this park. And this is New Mexico in Albuquerque, so there's no trees.
Right,
like, there's
it's all
just
desert.
desert and cactus. I feel my stomach start to turn, and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh
oh
no.
gosh, I gotta turn around," and so I'm turning around, and I realize I'm going the wrong way, and I'm in this big park,
Mm.
and, uh, and then I go back, and then I'm like, "I am going to the bathroom right now," and so I'm like, "Do I just get it all over myself, or do I just go right
Right.
here?" And, so I
Right,
was like, "I
right.
might as well just it's coming out of the way," so I drop my pants and then, like, families are walking by, and I'm just like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And then, like, immediately, like, cover my head and start running as soon as
Oh my
I'm done, but
god. That's
yeah, that's
fantastic.
the the woes of running, but
Yeah, right?
yeah.
Oh my god, it's great, it's great. I'm just curious, I'm curious though, like, where did I know you said you first started running when you know, to kind of release the energy from wanting a cigarette so bad, and that's I mean, I think that's a great idea. Did you ever run in the past? Like, were you ever on, like, the track team or something in high school, or was it just an idea that popped into your head?
No, I loved running. I think I even, like if there's an old yearbook that showed me, like, on the cross country team, but I never ran in any cross
Okay.
country matches growing up.
Oh.
I grew up just a hyperactive kid in the country, and I was
Okay.
running everywhere and, like
Gotcha.
but,
Yep.
like, when I got to be in my late teens, I stopped all that, and,
Sure. Yep.
was just playing music, and,
Okay.
there were, like, a few times where I'd put on my shoes and try to go out and run
Mhm.
around the block or something like that, but I was just I was not,
Okay.
that was not my thing.
Right, right. Gotcha,
Turns out
gotcha.
I like
Now
it.
it is. Now it is. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. All right, so I know you're also a very prolific songwriter, right? Can you briefly, through for my audience sake, run through some of your songwriting credits? I mean, I think you've written some pretty big tunes, right?
I mean, big is relative, I suppose.
Sure.
I feel very fortunate to have written for some people that I really admire a lot,
Mhm.
and then I've done a lot under my name for like film and TV. Has been really really good for me through the last few years.
Mhm.
I've written for Alison Krauss and Union Station quite
That's
a
the
bit.
one.
So yeah,
Alison Krauss. Yep. Yep.
yeah, I had a song that I had written. She actually, this is a fun story too.
Mhm.
I was recording my Warner Brothers album at Sound Emporium in
Yep.
Nashville, and I was in the B studio, and she was in the A studio. I was hungover, I'm sure, and the producers called me and was like, "Get over here, Alison Krauss is looking for you."
Oh, really?
And
She knew who you were?
she'd heard one of her engineers had one of my CDs, and she'd just heard of me, and she was I guess a small fan.
Okay.
Um, and I was like, I'm on my way right now," and I got there and they had taken a break, and I think that was their last day of recording, and they took off. So
Mhm.
I'd missed them, and then I went on tour with uh, this little collective called 10 out of 10,
Yep.
and I came back, and then we were doing like overdubs and background vocals. At that point, another friend, Mindy Smith, who's a great artist as well, had given me Allison's number. And she's like, "Just call her. I bet she would love to hear from you." And so I called her and left a voicemail, and I was like, "Hey, Alison Krauss, this is Jeremy Lister. I'm so flattered that you came out to see me in the studio. I'm sorry I missed you, but if you want to come hang out, sing some background vocals, wink, 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 we would love to have you at the studio." And I hung up. I was like, "Oh," it was like one of those like, did I just ask her to come sing backgrounds on my album? And just like hands over my face,
Yeah, right.
and then a day went by, and I was still like, "Oh gosh, she's never gonna call me back." And then,
Mhm.
like a week later, we were in the studio and looked at my caller ID, and she was calling, and I was like, "What?" And so I answered, and she's been so nice. She came out and sang 2 or 3 songs on that album and played some strings, and we just hit it off after that. And she actually took one of those songs that she sang on and put it
Yeah.
on her Alison Krauss Union Station album,
Yep.
and that was their second to last album. And this year they finally had a reunion, and the lead single was one of my songs, and
Awesome.
which is the first track on the album. It's called
Yep.
"Looks Like the End of the Road," and then the last track is also one of mine.
That's fantastic.
And those happen to be solo rights too, which is
Oh,
great,
wow.
for
Yeah.
that sort of
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I've just been very honored. She's been extremely good to me. She's one of the most kind and wonderful people in the world.
Mhm.
just very, 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 very flattered and honored that she likes my writing. So
Yeah, it's great. That's fantastic. So about the songwriting, like I want to talk kind of a little bit about your career as a songwriter and kind of how that developed. I mean, obviously, for anybody who knows Nashville, and me and my girlfriend Leanne make it down there at least once a year. We're heading down there again for New Year's Eve this year. So Nashville, for anybody that knows, is or doesn't know, is a songwriting town, right? I mean, that's where co-writes, I think, were, and I'm being a little bit facetious, but that's where co-writes were invented, it seems, right? Everybody I talk to from Nashville, right? Andrew, there's another songwriter, her name's Carly Zimmerman, that I've spoken to about a year ago. Kyle Austin is a pretty prolific writer and performer in kind of the Broadway scene there. But anyway, they tell me stories about how it's just, you do co-writes like almost every day or several times a day. You register with BMI or ASCAP and all that stuff. So I want to kind of get a little bit of an idea of what your experience was of how you kind of started songwriting, or have you just always been a songwriter from day one? Like how does that kind of develop as a career?
yeah, totally. I mean, I wasn't a songwriter until my mid-teens, I suppose. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was a singer and performing really, really young, 3, 4 years old in front
Mm-hmm.
of people, and then I was in little folk bands and things like that, or playing covers. When I learned how to play guitar, and then I'd really gotten into the Beatles, and I got really got into Jeff Buckley and some people, and so I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm gonna start writing songs, and then yeah, like junior, senior year of high school, the bug hit where I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I like songwriting. So really got into that, and then just sort of developed my craft through the years, and still doing so, I think. But it's I mean, I don't know, I have many thousands of songs I've probably written at this
Yep.
point, but
Wow.
it's just a kind of a I found it's a lot of like a numbers game, and like not sorry, this is for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of more of like, hey, let's just get something, let's complete it, and then and there are times like where I'm like I really like want to fight and find like the exact thing I'm saying, but
Mm-hmm.
um my best songs and the most successful songs I've had come out in about 30 minutes.
That's
It's
what
just
I've
like
heard. I've
let's
heard a
just
lot
like
of songwriters say that. Yeah, it's all very quick when when it's a real good one.
yeah. I did. I think I want to stay out of my own way. Like
Yeah.
I try to tell people it's the closest thing to explain it to is like it's not me. Like I'm an instrument of it, and
Yep.
because I've done it a lot, I know how to express it. But
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the thing is just something else that I happen to
Yeah.
channel in a way.
It's I totally get it. Rick Rubin said the same thing in his book, the what's it called, The Creative Act,
Mm,
where it's humans are kind of like the way he puts it, and I know he's very like spiritual and meditative and all that stuff, but he
mhm.
says like humans are basically just antenna, right? Like you're like a
Oh yeah.
receiver of the art that's out there. So
Hmm.
I get it when you say that, you're kind of good at it because you've done it a long time, but you're just keeping yourself open to the ideas and all that stuff. I totally get it.
Yeah, yeah, and therefore I think because I give a lot of creative counseling to people, and people
Mm.
people ask me sometimes for vocal lessons, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I know how to do that, but I'm not really good at explaining how to do that,
Sure. Yep.
But I love creative coaching,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
so then that's kind of what I say is like find your voice, and like just explore and just be prolific.
Yeah.
Right, and then
Yep.
the good stuff will surface if you just keep
Hmm.
getting the reps in.
Yeah, yeah. Is it a muscle that needs to be exercised, in your opinion?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, some people are just naturally gifted at it, but I think even those people, it's just the more you do it and the more you learn about it, the more learn about yourself and what your capabilities are, and the more your kind of your antenna gets stronger and is able to sort of pick up the things around you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. I love it. I'm gonna look up something on my phone super quick because I want to get it right.
Mm.
I was going through your catalog, and I came across one of your more recent EPs, but I can't remember the name of it. And I think it's a collaboration. Um oh, where the hell is it?
A bunch of those, yeah.
Yeah, this one. Uh Lucky Dropout and Jeremy Lister. That
Yeah.
Dum Dum Dada is on, it's on repeat on my phone like crazy. I
It's
mean,
so much fun.
all 5 songs are bangers in my opinion. I love that entire EP. It's fantastic. I
Thanks. Yeah,
love
that
it.
one's pretty far left field for a lot of the stuff I do, and which
Mhm.
makes me love it even more.
Yeah.
So I love like pop, I love funk, I love like really upbeat dance music too,
Mhm.
and like
Yep.
um Billy Van Alstine is Lucky Dropout, and he also has another project called Hidden Citizens that I do some stuff with too.
Okay.
But he's just such a great producer, like just like gets those great sounds and like
Yeah.
knows like his sound design and like the way he like gets things to drop is just
Mhm.
it's so good. So I'll go over he's got a studio that's about 45 minutes west of Nashville, and I'll go over and stay out there with him for like 4 or
Nice.
5 days, and we'll haul up and write and record while we're there, and it's just so much fun. But yeah, that EP is just like it's like what did I call it? Like it's like uh, a midlife crisis dance party.
That's great. That is
Yeah.
great. It's amazing. I love that song. And it's not I mean, I went through high school being a hardcore thrash metal guy, right? The big 4, Anthrax, Metallica,
Yeah.
Megadeth, Slayer, right? And Pantera, of
Yeah.
course. They were my jam all through high school and even a few years after. And then when I first started playing guitar, I was learning Metallica and AC/DC riffs nonstop. And then I got into like the singer-songwriter acoustic stuff, little Jack Johnson, some James Taylor, and then I found John Mayer, and I think he's one of the greatest guitarists on the planet, in my opinion,
Mm.
currently. So anyway, so I've got a pretty wide spectrum of music. But yeah, I heard that, and I was like, this isn't really what I would normally listen to, but I fucking love it. It's great.
Yeah, it just makes you wanna
Mhm.
move, but I
Yep.
like making albums like that. I've got another collaboration I do with actually, it was with Alison Krauss's son, his name is
Okay.
Sam
Mhm.
Bergeson, and, he goes by Bergie, but,
Okay.
we have a project called Cool Cool, and,
Okay.
a lot of that's super upbeat stoner stuff too, more electronic, upbeat sort of, I don't know, it's weird, like, you should check out the song Panorama we did, it's really
Panorama.
fun.
Okay. I will check it
Um
out.
but, it's just stuff I wanna move to, stuff I wanna go run
Yeah.
to, and, like, it
Mhm.
kinda makes you feel good and wanna get up on your feet, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the hot sauce, right?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned it earlier. Is it a collaboration with your brothers? Is it a business that you own with your brothers?
It is, yeah, yeah, both my
Okay.
brothers and I own this business, but, like, I
Mhm.
mean, kinda going back full circle too is, like, when I quit music, I got into running. I thought I wanted to be a park ranger, and I was, like, just trying to figure out explore ways to do that. I started an ice cream, CSA, uh, and I was selling ice cream out of my kitchen, and, uh, and I started a hot sauce company with my
Mhm.
brothers, kind of a couple few years after that, and then, or all in that sort of that same era,
Yep.
and, uh, and I mean, a whole bunch of other stuff, but yeah, the hot sauce stuff, is just incredible. We figured
Mhm.
out that if you smoke all the vegetables like you would smoke, you know, like if you're doing a barbecue or something like
Yep.
that,
Mhm.
uh, and then blend it up and then cook the hot sauce after it's been smoked, it just tastes extraordinary. And,
Okay.
my older brother was kinda coming up with a lot of these recipes, and I would go over to his house once a week, and he would show me, like, the newest version, and then he showed me what we currently sell for our mild and original flavor, and, I was just like, "Do not change a thing. This is the absolute perfect hot sauce."
Awesome.
And, and it's been great, and people love it, you know? We're, like we're 3 creatives, so we suck at running a business, uh, but the hot sauce is amazing, and we're in, like, 20 different establishments,
Yep.
and we sell it online, and, like, we're a
All
couple
around
places in
Nashville, right?
LA, a
The
couple
physical.
all around Nashville,
Yep.
we're LA, and a couple places, Austin in a spot,
Oh, cool.
Chattanooga, and just kinda
Mhm.
speckled places here and there,
Yep.
but yeah, it is so good. Now we just need to talk someone into coming partnering up with us to show us how to run a business.
Yeah, there you go.
So we can expand, so we're not like, "I have the
Yeah.
perfect idea, I just don't know how to implement it," you know?
Are you guys doing pretty much everything yourself still, or did you like, like even like
Yeah.
label creation and shipping and
Mm.
all that stuff? You guys are all still doing that?
Yeah, my older brother is doing most of it because
Okay.
the three of us were doing quite a bit of it
Mhm.
for years, but I know I'm gone a lot, and my younger
Sure.
brother has a business that's taking a lot of his time. But my older brother,
Mhm.
he does a number of different jobs, but he kind of runs the hot sauce company
Oh,
while
wow.
we're not
Okay.
here. But
Yep.
yeah, the two of us cooked a couple weeks ago though. I just love it, like when I'm in town, can because it's a chance to hang out with my bros
Yeah.
and
That
just
sounds
catch up
great.
and yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, and then the whole Post Malone thing, right? I mean, I've seen a couple of your no pun intended posts on Instagram and stuff where Post is in them and stuff, and it's I don't know, it's just he's like a phenomenon right now. You know, I mean, the last couple years, I guess I should say, like he's really come to the forefront. Not that he wasn't big before, but when he really embraced the country scene and Nashville and then being invited to the Opry and all that stuff. So, can you just give me a little bit of background on how you got hooked up with him and where that all started?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's phenomenal. Like I had known a few of his songs and like I'd always liked him, but I'd never really totally have not really dove into his catalog at
Mm-hmm.
that point before I started singing with him. But he's such a good songwriter and like his old stuff is like I've learned a lot by listening to like what he does with melodies and songwriting. He's just
Mm-hmm.
brilliant.
Yep.
But that all happened I mean as someone who can sing harmony really well, I've also done a lot of background vocals for some pretty big artists as well,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I had become friends with this this my friend in town, uh, Kristen Rogers, and actually today's her birthday. Happy
Oh,
birthday,
wow.
Kristen Rogers. I don't know when this will air, but
Probably
um,
probably in a day or two, actually. Yep.
yeah, nice. But we were buds, and she would have me along to sing on a lot of her projects that she was working on, and we would just kind of show up randomly on other things like for like big choral things and or like big gang vocal BGVs, and I'd had her come over to do some things, and so like um, we just knew each other and liked each other's singing and hanging out with each other and stuff like that, and she had me along. We were gonna do this big, thing with Eric Church with a
Oh,
like an
yeah.
ensemble,
Yep.
as he was headlining Stagecoach out in the desert out in California, last year,
Mhm.
and, uh, and we were just a few days from leaving, and she calls me up, and she's like, "Hey, I've got another gig for you if you wanna do it, but it means you have to fly out early and leave a little bit later."
Mhm.
And, she didn't tell me who it was, and I was like, "Well, it's actually my wife's birthday, and I think I probably just need to get back because I wanna
Mhm.
be there for her birthday." And she was like, "Okay, just letting you know this is for Post Malone." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Let me talk to my wife real quick." And, uh, and then, of course, my wife was like, "Yes, do that,
Yeah,
you
sure.
dummy," you know? And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
sang with him, and, the show went great. At that point, he just kinda did some of his covers, I think. I
Where
don't think
did you
he
sing
even
where did you sing with him that first time? Where was
it was
that?
a Stagecoach festival out
Oh,
in,
okay.
it was
Where
so Eric Church had played on Saturday, and then Post played before the headliner and just doing a bunch of country covers,
got you. Okay.
yeah, then got a call a few weeks later seeing if I wanted to do an award show with them,
Nice.
and then, yeah, a little bit after that, they were like, "Hey, you got the gig if you wanna go on tour." And so I was
That's
like,
fantastic.
"Great, it's amazing." Yeah.
That's great. So what's it like? I mean, I've talked to a handful of folks that have gone on the big world tours, right? Like I've talked to Chris Voss from the record company, Ben Jaffe, formerly of Honey Honey, and now with Casey Musgraves. He's touring manager with Casey Musgraves. So I'm going to ask you the same question I've kind of asked them. What's it like to go on one of these big tours? I mean, is it everything that us regular peons think it is?
Well, I'll say this, like, from my Mississippi, like, rock days to slugging it out, even with a major deal, like, not getting in tour support and, like, trying to get a band across and
Hmm.
sleeping on couches and floors and, like, slumming it and driving through the night, and years and years of paying my dues on
Hmm.
the
Yep.
road.
Yep.
Um, and then, I've done some things that have been kind of moving in an upward trajectory, but
Yep.
I just when I quit music, I definitely didn't want to go out and tour very much anymore. I
Right.
picked up a few gigs and go out for a couple weeks here and there,
Sure.
but I just that did not sound appealing to me. But then this opportunity came along, and for obvious reasons, I was like, yeah, I want to give it a go. So
Mhm.
uh, it's challenging, you know. You're still on the road, you're away from your family, you get away from your
Yeah.
routines, and
Yep.
but for touring, it's awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
it really it's incredible. He's wonderful, and like everyone we work with is really great,
Mhm.
and like, you know, staying in nice hotels and
Sure.
like
Yep.
flying in like nice buses is like, whoa,
Mhm.
okay, this is great, and like catered meals, you know. And then the coolest thing for me is I love traveling and seeing the world. So like
Mhm.
I've now been everywhere in the continental U.S. But and I'd been to a few places, you know, from touring with other bands and
Mhm.
things, you know, across the world, but not like this. Like we just did a full European tour,
Yeah.
and it was incredible. It was absolutely a blast, and my wife got to come out for like the last third of it or so, and
Oh, that's awesome.
we had some downtime, and
Yep.
man, just had so much fun. I ran in every country I went to,
Yeah,
and
I saw some of those Instagram posts where you were like, "I went for a run over here in Austria or wherever it was," you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's been so cool, and
Yeah.
if all goes well, I'll be running in Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia and India in
Yeah, man.
December,
That's
and then next
awesome.
year will hopefully be Australia and Asia. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
Fantastic. That's
yeah.
great. I love that. So how often were you playing gigs? Was it like every other day, or was there 2 or 3 days in between for travel time? And you're not playing just like regular arenas, right? I mean, some of these are probably giant stadiums, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is they're calling it the Big Ass Stadium Tour. So
Right.
North America was pretty much all stadiums, and out there was mostly all stadiums too.
Okay. Yep.
And then like some like festival grounds and stuff like that too.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's wild. That we had a couple of back-to-back shows for the European run, but like
Really?
they had like production team A, B, and C, and they would all go to the different
Oh,
cities to
okay.
help set up
Yep. Yep.
instead of having to strike down and like rush because it's so difficult to get around to some places like that.
Sure. Yep. Yep.
So uh, they had that going, and most most of the shows we had a day off in between, and there was like a couple of cancellations due to some strikes in London, and so like that
Oh, okay.
moved some things to where we ended up doing London a week after tour was supposed to be over,
Oh,
which gave
okay.
us like we had like almost a week off in Amsterdam and like a week
Oh,
off in
wow.
London, which was
Nice.
great. Yeah, it was
Yeah, I
so much
bet.
fun.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's fantastic. Awesome. All right, cool. I mean, I think I've gotten everything that I've wanted to ask you. Is there anything else that you maybe want to promote or just inform my audience of, before we kind of wrap things up?
Got a whole bunch of music coming out. um, had a song come out today or yesterday. That's being featured on Grey's Anatomy this evening.
Oh, wow.
I've
Nice.
done yeah, do a whole lot for songs you hear on TV and film and on
Hmm.
commercials and things like that. And then I've got an EP coming out called "There's a Light Up Ahead," which is one of the ones that Allison recorded, but this is my version. And
Nice.
uh, the title track will be on a NBC show next week called "Brilliant Minds."
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm really excited to. I've just got a whole bunch planned for next year as far as releases and getting things
Hmm.
out, both with collaborations and my own stuff, and then another probably 6 months of tour next year. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Now I don't know if I don't remember. I think I mentioned it in my email, but sometimes we do a live performance. If you wanted to do that now, you're welcome to grab an acoustic guitar
Oh,
and do something.
so this is a song called "One Step," and it's kind of applicable to my my journey in recovery and also to running very long distances. So if you want to take it literally, it's about that, or kind of more so about my life's journey and all the things that you have to overcome. It's a song called "One Step."
Some things fast, some things slow. Some things take time to grow. But all I know is that I'm feeling dumbed out, made of stone. There is something telling me that all I need to do is keep moving on. I take it one step at a time. With a mountain in front of me hangs over everything. I take it one breath at a time. When the world that is all I see feels like too much for me. Put one foot in front of the other, one breath after another. I take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time. Some things last, some things go. If we just stand here, we'll never know. The road far up ahead of me is feeling like eternity I can't conceive. There is something telling me that all I need to do is keep on moving my feet. I take it one step at a time. When the mountain in front of me hangs over everything. I take it one breath at a time. The world that is all I see feels like too much for me. Put one foot in front of the other, one breath after another. I take it one breath at a time. Take it one step at a time. Put one foot in front of the other, one step after another. I take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
I love it. Fantastic, brother. Fantastic. Man, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me and talk with me. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Dave, thanks so much for having me on, man. It's an honor. I've done a few of these, but I always love getting to talk about life and music,
Yeah,
and
man.
I just feel honored that someone cares to hear about it.